Yeah, baby. So, a lot of people don't even know that this exists. This is my truck. This is my work truck. The original, the big dog. Classic 7.3. It's only 440,000 kilometers young. And a few years ago it started giving issues. Actually, many years ago now. It's been parked for 3 years now. Just didn't need it, and the backstory is it started running like a bag of hammers, and took it to the local shop, and they went through it, and oh yeah, they had it figured out. Within a day, running like a bag of hammers, with all the handles broke off. So you get parked, and then digging through YouTube, and one of the first things that I checked out myself after watching a few videos was this guy. Now that's the it's an ECM or a FICM, whatever you want to call it. That's the engine control module. Needless to say, that's a new one, because the one that was in there when the mechanic had to go at this truck missed the fact that that was full of water. Full of water. Yeah. The computer boards inside didn't like that too much. So needless to say, it was gooned. So a brand new module for about 500 bucks. Started up, but it still had a misfire. So, while monkeying around with it, I realized it was on this bank, and it was what I thought was the first cylinder at the front. So what I was doing was I was changing injectors out, I was changing the plug-ins around, and it would stumble and it would splutter, and then it wouldn't follow it, and then it would follow it. Whatever I was changing was the wiring, or whether it was the injector. So like I said, it was parked. So I think at this point now, this truck has been off the road for 5 years. Yep, something like that. So I just sort of shelved it. Meanwhile, I've been paying attention to a lot of the YouTube pages that I do follow. And I just got this sneaking suspicion that it wasn't anything serious. So needless to say, I have myself a pressure tester, pulled the glow plugs out, did a compression test. Engine's good. This thing doesn't use much oil. It runs good normally. So through a bunch more YouTubing, it all comes back to the rocker cover gaskets. Now I can't see, you might not be able to tell. You see the wiring goes into the side of the rocker cover? The rocker cover gasket is actually part of the harness. And I will show you what a rocker cover gasket for a 7.3 is. Now this is the old body style 7.3. That's why it's got the 2 plug-ins. The new body style, that's the same as that truck out there. That's an 03, so that's a 6.0. So the earlier 03s back to the 2000s are the older 7.3s, and they have a single port in the middle. So same concept. It's a gasket, and then it has plug-ins there to there. So I checked the continuity on these, because that can sometimes go wrong. These are fine. They're old. I think they're original, but they're fine. But anyway, I figured, I knew the driver's side here where I'm having the issue was the original gasket, and it's the original plug-ins. Like you can see there, that part, this part of the wiring harness, That had been replaced on that side. This side hadn't been replaced yet. As you can see, I've now replaced both sides again. So what I did was I ordered from these guys just shy of 90 bucks Canadian for a pair of rocker cover gaskets with the plug-ins and a wiring to be spliced in, and then postage. So it was like 150, 160 bucks, which is 2/3 of the price it would cost to get it here. So there's a new set of these already in there, and as you can see, I've wired in the new pigtails, which are these things, except with longer wire. I just chopped these off to get them out of the way. So one of the first things, let's see if I can grab this one-handed. One of the first things that I noticed, like I said, I had a mechanic work on this, but one of the first things you can notice about this, one of the pins is not all the way to the front. Now that's not a big issue because that's a glow plug pin. The outsides on both sides are glow plugs, because the glow plug for each cylinder. So you get glow plug, and then the next ones in are firing for the injectors, and then the middle ones are the commons. So these, somebody been trying to smash them in and out, and bent the pins. Not a big issue. Still doesn't complain the issue. So these are the parts that are inside the rocker cover that go from there and then out to the cylinders. So glow plugs, and then you get your injectors. So for the most part, they all look good. Just remember, these exist in hot oil. Same thing. Looking good. So, and I got to this one, and I looked at this and went, oh, that's not good. That's bare wire. And then even the glow plug one is cracked. So I was thinking, well, that would explain something. Then I realized, oh, this isn't from the rocker cover that's on the offending. This is from the other side. So yeah, you might say we have a bit of a problem. So yeah, like I said, there's a brand new one in there. I'm just about to get ready to fire this dog up, but I thought I was going to show you guys this update. And I was going to give you my impression of these things. You see them advertised on TV. They look good. They look like they do the job. They do technically work. They're an absolute bugger to be able to use them properly, though. Because by the time you melt the little solder ring on the inside, the rubber part is really starting to melt or go on fire. The gasket part, like the colored part, it has already melted and sealed up the ends. But the solder takes a real long time. I tried a heat gun. Heat gun doesn't get warm enough. I was using matches. What would be best would be one of those little flameless lighters that has a little jet. That way you can go round it, round it, round it. That would work. But I think at the end of the day, you'd be just as quicker to solder the wire connection and put shrink tubing over it. You'd be done. But they're on. So yeah, this project, just about ready to fire it up. I think I gotta charge the batteries first though. Okay, I'll show you the other project I've been working on. So here's my other project. So I think I showed you in the other video when I was making up the generator trailer using my MIG. This is my little stick. Well, this is my old stick welder, and it's gooned. It's done. It's shot. All of the fine settings are gooned. They don't work. But this is the old welder that came over from the other farm, and it works really good. Problem I had was the power cord for it is that. So I figured I'll change out the cable. I've got lots of heavy duty cable that I've taken from old stoves and things. This one, this power cord here is from this welder. I had just put it on recently. So I figured I was going to switch it over. Well, lo and behold, I go to unscrew the old cable off of the power switch on this, and I broke one of the tabs off the switch. It just crumbled, just broke away. So that was that gooned. So my next protocol was rub the switch off of this one, off the Fernie, and I enlarged the hole. I pushed all the wires on the big power coils back to fit this because it's an oversized switch, and installed it. And then properly installed this power wire over here so it goes past the big power packs over here to the switch. So there you go. The only issue was, by the time we got the welder over here, one of the wires for the welder had gone missing. So I have resoldered the ground clamp for this one to the plug-in for this one. And then I added the two welding positive cables together. I soldered them together to make a nice big long whip. That way, this little guy can sit on the trailer, hooked to the generator. The ground clamp doesn't need to be too long because it just hooks to wherever in the fence I'm at. And then I can walk a fair distance with the now really long, because that's got to be 40 feet now. Yeah, that'll be 40 feet. So yeah, that's my other project. Now, oh yeah, the radio's on over there. The generator. I ran it. The power has come up, but not by much. I put the grinder on it. It ran the grinder fine, but as soon as you put any real hard load on the grinder, it loses its power. So I'm now in talks with somebody in the province that deals with generators. Pretty much what's going to end up happening is we're just going to end up replacing the board, the motherboard that's in the top part. It's not that expensive because everything else should work just fine. So that's where we're kind of at. That's why there hasn't been an update on that, because to get parts for that, it's not going to be that easy, but we'll deal with what we can. So yeah, that's where I'm at so far. So yeah, I'll maybe bring you back if the truck's running. If I don't, you'll know why. Please, please. So yeah.